All right, everybody, welcome to the Countless Vlogcast. My guest today is Annette Phillip, a poet and author. How you doing today, Annette?
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you
So
for.
tell us a little about yourself. What do you do and a little about yourself?
Well, I'm originally from the Caribbean island of Dominica, and I migrated to the US years ago. And presently, I'm a nanny slash author.
Okay.
So that's what I-
What inspired you start writing?
Well, since I was a little girl, I loved reading, and then writing followed right
Mm,
after. I would do little poems, little short stories at school. It was really good. I was complimented by the teachers all the time for that. And then as I got older, I'm the kind of writer that don't want to hide my work.
mm,
Good or bad, I want to put my work out there because I feel I want people to know and see what I can do. You know what I mean? And
mhm,
I write based on emotions, based on feelings, based on events, experiences. So I wanted to write like over 10 years ago, but it wasn't accessible for me. It was very hard.
mm, mm,
Money, you heard about publishing companies and stuff like that, and then modern technology advanced, and that helped me. And I was able to put my work out there through writing classes, and I started doing open mics with friends, and I just got into the feel of what it is to be a poet, what it is to be an artist
mm.
out there. It helped me a lot, and then I realized that I could do it, without having to worry about getting it.
Wow, that's very inspirational. So tell us about your recent book you did, the children's book you did.
Yes, I just published in December. It came out for the first time. My first children's book, Sammy's Curious Adventure, and it's animated. It's about a bunny. It's a children's book, age 0 to 8, and this is it. This is my
Mm,
book. It's a very small book, very small for small hands, I should say.
mm,
It has a lot of pages. It's just appropriate for the age range, 0 to 8. And yeah, it's my first children's book. It's based real of the story is
mm,
real, based on a kid that I once babysat, and I just transformed the story more from there. So it's about the dangers of playing with fire or anything. Well, this one's about fire, but it really is a message to young kids that if you don't know what something is, you don't play with it or you don't
mm.
touch it because you can get hurt. And it has a nice message. And at the end, Sammy's mom, really feels sorry for him, and she's an understanding mom. And we need that sometimes when we do something wrong. We want our mom to support us and let us know in a nice way that what we did was wrong, but I'm there for you. So the message is really clear and it's appropriate for 0 to 8 years old. So this is it,
Wow.
Serious Adventure.
Mm,
And this I can just see the inside a little bit. It's very,
wow.
very
That's
well,
really cool, though. That's really cool.
yeah, let's get one more page so you can see. It's very well illustrated,
Mm.
but you can see.
So what were your first thoughts when you first started writing to like now? Like when you first started writing, what were your first thoughts when you first started writing?
Well, to begin with, I wrote it in a writing class. It was
Mm,
in fable.
mm,
We had to write a fable, and as a poet, I didn't think that I could even write anything else but poetry.
mm,
That's what makes those classes so interesting, and you learn so much. And it was a fable initially, and then I remember when I had to read it in the class, and my teacher said to me, Annette, you can develop it a little bit more. Why don't you make it into a story? Because the message was really
mm,
good. And I was like, why don't you do a book? Just like that, the idea just popped into my head.
mm,
And I was like, why don't you write a children's book? And I spoke to my teacher about it, and she knows about this thing. She's an author too, and she's like, go for it. I was very encouraged, and that helps a lot. As an artist, we are supposed to encourage each other. We're never
mm.
ever bring each other down, no matter
Yeah,
even if
definitely.
the work is not good. That is, you don't know what the person went through writing this. So, and then I had worked with my illustrator. Well, I knew my illustrator some years ago because he's married to my best friend's sister. And he owns his own company, and he is a graphic designer. They do all kinds of stuff. And I end up calling him up, and I was like, listen, I want to do a children's book. And I
Mm,
want to shout out to Eric Hutchinson, my illustrator. Eric, you're just awesome. And keep doing what you're doing. And Eric spoke to me and he said, Annette, yeah, we can do that. And he said, you know what, Annette, because I know you, I'm going to work on it with you. And I was even happier about that
mm,
because I thought, oh, you're so cool. And Eric had never done that type of illustration, but we worked so well together. It took a whole year. Honestly, it took a whole year because certain things were not right. We had to like edit the book. We had to change the story, not change it, but like shorten it a little bit. And it's a lot of work. And the illustration was a lot of work. And he did a great job. And we worked well on the book. And finally, we had to change the colors. It was like a lot exciting seeing the different transformations, to get the book to be what it is today. It was amazing. And Eric, thank you so much for this. And and then we had to do printing after we did the illustrations were done. We had to do the printing, we had to do the editing, and then we had to do the printing. I wanted to know he asked me what size I wanted. I chose the size and everything. And and then it came out in December 2019.
So what inspired like to be like about bunnies though? Why like bunnies, not another animal? Like what about bunnies that stood out to you?
Well, I love bunnies to begin with. I love them, and I don't know. I find they're cute. I think they're really, kids love them. You never hear kids say, "I don't like a rabbit. I don't like."
Yeah.
So I take kids to the zoo and pet and stuff like that, and so I see what they like. Squirrels are fun animals for some people. Most people, they never affected me because Hannah is a squirrel in the book. Hannah, that's Sammy's friend, and I was like, I didn't want to do two bunnies. I wanted to do one character, and so I don't know. I just think they're lovable creatures. Squirrels can be troublesome at times, but they're always in the park. These are animals you see in the park all the time, playgrounds and parks. So it was appropriate for the book to at least have a squirrel in there. And the rabbit for me was because I think all kids love rabbits and I think they're funny. And Eric made Sammy so cute that it was so good for the age range that I was looking for. So, and I love that. And then we were thinking about colors. And I was like, oh my God, I think blue might be the best color. I couldn't think of anything. I picked bunny. I was like, no. And pretty much that was it. And we stuck with blue, and then we did the squirrel brown. Yeah.
Yes, it's very simple, but it stands out though. Really, like it's really like very colorful and very well illustrated too, and like a great story too. So it really stands out, So I think it's perfect for kids. Like you said, 0 to 8, right? Like babies to 8.
It's and kids love color. I mean, they love color. They love the brightness. And I think that's what even makes the book, even like everybody loves the book, even enjoy it better. So
what's been like the feedback so far from like parents and like kids and like as like teachers? If you had like teachers that like have brought it, what's been the feedback so far?
Well, before the book was even published, before it even came out, I was doing. So I was talking to mothers I worked with, that were parents, nannies, and parents of the parents I worked for, and friends that I know that are mothers. And I was just speaking to parents in general and finding out like, how do they feel about, a bunny playing with a lighter and fire? And I want to get that reaction from parents first and let them know, because fire is something that, would you put fire in the children's book? That kind of thing? But I played with fire. So I think that every other kid out there probably at some point fire. So and they responded positively, especially telling them what the message was about. And so and so they responded, and so then I just decided, you know what, okay, we're gonna stick with that and see. And what I did, first, before I was on Amazon, Eric printed out 100 copies. We said, because the book was for $10 a copy, the paperback version, and so we decided to say, let's print out 100 copies and see how it goes. And I marketed the book. I went to the library. I went to story time classes when I was doing my babysitting parents. I went all over. I'm showing people the book, and people responded right away. And everybody on Facebook, not forgetting my people on Facebook, family and friends on Facebook, they really supported me, and everybody loved it.
That's great.
That's what I'm happy. Like everybody, not one person told me anything negative. Everybody, and that's why I know it can sell, because the message. And then I have it on different websites, onlinebookclub.org. I was just on there last night. I got a lot of reviews on there, and all of them were positive. So this book is really going to go a long way. I think it's going to do really good.
Congratulations on that, though.
Yeah.
So, in terms of like influences, authors that influenced you, children's authors, and authors out there, or writers out there that influenced you to like write this book or continue writing or like publish a book, like anything, any out there that like you really influenced you or like you grew up aspiring to be like?
Not really. The thing about me, I'm a versatile reader. You know, I read based on the interests, my personal. I've read all kinds of books. People always say, "What's your favorite author?" I really can't. Some of them I like. I like what's her name, Terry McMillan. I like V.C. Williams, V.C. Andrews. Sorry, a couple of them I can remember off my head. But I read books. I love black books by black authors on stories. Like Terry McMillan has some really good ones. One of them is A Day Late and a Dollar Short. I've read that like 2 or 3 times. I forgot the author that the one about God Doesn't Love Ugly. I read like all 3 books is black authors. I love the storyline. I love about hearing about black people back in the day. And then I do VC Andrews, which is mystery. She's a white
Yeah.
author and she's mystery, but in a very, I don't even know how to say it, darkish kind of a way, but
Mhm.
good. And she has a lot of different series, and I've read nearly all her books. And I read based on my personal interest, what that just gravitates to me at the time. You know, I've read what is that one? Oh my gosh, I can't even get it. But I've read a lot of
Mhm.
books. And I don't have no specific author on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just love reading, and whatever gravitates or captivates me, I read at the time.
Yeah, it's great.
The Catch in the Rye. I read that book. It's a classic. It's a whole bunch of different types of authors. They're totally different people, and I enjoy their books. You know, To Kill a Mockingbird is a classic. I read that. I read like more than once. Watched the
Yeah.
movie.
Definitely classics for like authors too. So it's like a couple, a little bit of influence from those too. And then what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, in terms of like your goals now, like you from first starting a year ago to like having the idea to write it to like publishing like to like the quarantine now, and like what are some of your goals now in terms of like the book and like writing and stuff like that?
Honestly, when COVID had just started in March, when it really got bad over here, I kind of felt like I felt a little depressed.
Mm.
And I felt, oh boy, because I had just ordered another 100 copies,
Mm.
because I had sold out the first 100 copies, and my illustrator and I had just printed out 100 copies, and
Mm.
the box came, and I'm like, COVID-19 is coming, and everywhere is shutting down, and my whole goal was to do book signing. I
Mm.
had signed up with a couple places, coffee houses, and another place that I would frequent, this Caribbean place I would eat. And the man was so nice. He was gonna get a deal inside his place, and we were gonna,
Mm.
do a book signing there. Everything was, life is unpredictable. So
Yeah.
I got a little bit disappointed in the beginning, and then I just stopped selling my books. I just stopped marketing.
Mm.
And then after I was like, no. And then a couple of friends of mine said, Annette, now is the time that people want to read and do stuff, because everybody's cooped up inside. You know what I mean? People not gonna stop reading. People not gonna stop going to
Yeah. Exactly.
And so I was like, okay, let's get the ball rolling. And so I had some orders. I had some orders in place for the 100 books. Second, I mailed them out, and yeah, and I started marketing again. And then that's when I decided to finally go on Amazon. So in April, I finally went on Amazon. I put the book on Amazon in Kindle format and paperback format. Yeah, so these are the two places I have the book marketing is on Amazon, and I will have my own website. It's called www.sammythebunny.com. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, in terms of like children and parents and teachers and like other people that want to like read to their kids, the kids that want to read it, what do you want them to take away from the book?
The message of Sammy is, I don't want to give anything away, but it's basically telling kids, like, if you don't know what something is, but kids are curious, and that's probably why I think that's another reason I use the bunny,
Mm.
because bunnies are known to be curious animals, and kids between 0 to 8 are very curious. And no matter what, even me, when I was a little girl, my mother would tell me how many times, don't do this, don't go there. I would go back the next day. I'll get like slap or like a butt, like hit me on my butt or strap, whatever, and I would go back again the next day. Like it didn't even faze me. That like I'm gonna get. So I always say blows. I'm gonna get blows. You know. and that's the thing. So Sammy is curious. Like kids are curious. So the basically is if you don't know what something is, what he found out in the end, you don't play with it. So it's good to be curious, but you have to be careful when you're being curious. Even as young as 4 and 5, we have to always let them know if you don't know what something is, you don't touch it, you leave it alone, or you ask a grown-up what it is, and if they tell you it's safe enough for you to touch, then you do it. And I do that as a nanny too. Even the kids I take care of, I do the same thing. I tell them if they see something on the ground, do not pick it up. Ask me what it is and I'll tell you if you should. So this book is like a lesson like that. It's a really good message. And what I love about the book, and in my reviews, I did a professional review on online book like bookclub.org. And what the woman loved about it even more was the ending, was the fact that his mom wasn't upset with him. You know, she didn't scold him. She knew what he did was wrong, but she embraced him. And let him know I love you no matter what. Right. And a lot of parents love that part of it. That I didn't, make the mom into a monster, Yeah. Like that. Yeah. So I think parents they were not expecting that in the ending. I think they really wanted to know what was the mom going to do. And a lot of them was pretty surprised that I made the mom into a really nice mom.
Yeah, it's a great lesson though too, because like you said, like a lot of times, like these stories end with like mom's gonna scold the kids for like playing with fire, or like you can't do that anymore. The kid's gonna feel bad. So it's a good story to have that, like a positive story.
Yeah, exactly. We need something positive for kids because it's a learning experience. When you're small, it's a learning experience. You don't get it right away. Adults don't get it right away. So why would I? 4-year-old to get it right away? You know what I mean? It's a work in progress. And Sammy, he's curious like a kid, and I think that's what makes it even more enjoyable.
Okay, so what's your advice to like other authors out there, or beginning authors out there, for like people that may be like hesitant to publish their book or start writing? What's any advice for them?
Oh, sure. Never give up. Never give up on your dream. Never let anybody make you feel like it's not possible. I'm not rich yet, but just the whole marketing and the process of Sammy is exciting for me. And the encouragement I've been getting, it's amazing. Never make anybody bring you down. You want to write a book? You want to write poetry book? You want to write a children's book? You want to write a novel, a novella, a short story, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Do not let anybody tell you otherwise. It's your dream and you can make it happen. The only person that can prevent you from making your dream happen is somebody else, negative energy.
Yeah.
With that. So just go with it. You feel, even if you think people are not going to like your book, it's your dream. Just go for it. You never know. There are a lot of people in the world, even if 10 don't like it, another 10 might like it. There's somebody out there I'm sure that will like it. So.
Okay. So in terms of like Sammy's Curious Adventure, do you want to make it into a series? Are you trying to make another genre? Are you trying to expand to another genre? Or are you trying to expand on that book to make it a series for children?
It's actually it's actually going to be a 3-series book.
Okay.
And the second one, I already wrote some of the story. It's about bullying. So Sammy's going to be bullying. I tried to make it interesting and different from the cliche. It works, but hopefully next year I can have the second one out. But definitely going to be 3-part series. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that sounds great. So I'm not to get too much away, but what was your favorite part of the book?
Excuse me?
Not to get too much away, but what's your favorite part of the book from your perspective? Your favorite part of your book? Yeah.
Is when and what he see that it presents like, and his eyes and his whole persona changed, like when he's so in awe of what this thing could do, and but I mean I could show it because I practically have it on Facebook anyway, like, his whole expression, it's like wow, I didn't know it could and I love that because that's like a typical kid. A typical kid
Definitely.
for the first time, and it does that, and they're amazed, and the expression is like, look at that.
It's so cute.
So that's my favorite part, yeah, in the book is
Okay.
this object. Yeah.
Okay, great. I like to end with words of positivity from you. Anything you want to add, or message you want to add to the people out there?
Well, I would like to say that my book can be found on Amazon.com. This one, I don't know if anybody can see properly. This
Yeah, you
is
can bring it up a little more so people can see it.
I print out. It's this is it's horizontal, yeah.
Yep.
And this is my printout. This is Amazon's printout, which is vertical. So it's a different printout and layout, but it's still the same story. And the book is on Amazon. It's $9.99 for the paperback, and we have Kindle. I have Kindle also. The Kindle is $3.99. If you're a member of or you subscribe to Kindle Unlimited, you can download it on Kindle and get the whole book on Kindle Unlimited if you're a subscriber. And on my website, www.sammythebunny.com, it's $10 for the paperback copy, and the PDF is $5. Also, I would really encourage, it's so important, I would really encourage people that purchasing the book, that after you purchase the book and you read it, if you like it, don't like it, whatever, please leave a review. The reviews does help me, especially if it's positive reviews, obviously. It's going to help the sales. So I encourage people to leave a review after purchasing the book, so that the reviews, when people see the amount of reviews, it does help people to be curious and want to buy the book.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
Thank you, Annette, for coming on too. So people can watch this interview again on that Facebook watch party after this, YouTube, Instagram, and follow Annette on Facebook to add her at Facebook under her name, Annette Phillip. You guys can see that too. This so buy the book or put their good reviews on that too. Good support, and thank you very much, Annette, for coming on. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
All right, guys. This has been the Countless Vlogcast, episode 20, guys. With Annette, poet and author of Sammy's Curious Adventure. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
All right.